In the year 499,994 of the realm known as Ronina, a scaled tyrant and a divine lich constructed a plot that would rail against the power of their kinder counterparts. That plot, of course, led to a war that spanned every realm attached to the prime material plane. Gods and their followers found conflict with other gods and their followers, creating a holy war for the ages. In the year 500,000 of the realm known as Ronina, the universe was changed forever. It was that year when the fighting came to a head. The gods, all 19 of them, fought each other using the stars as their battleground, and as they say, good prevails over evil, but at a terrible cost. You see, as the gods continued to fight, the amount of sheer force and power they were releasing was detrimental to the universe they called home. So detrimental, in fact, that the realms themselves were moved by it. That shockwave of force sent realms of every kind tumbling into one another. As they did so, the barriers that kept their natural magic contained cracked in the collision. During those brief moments of contact, bonds were formed between certain realms as their magics became intertwined, creating doors of access, better known as rifts. Though good prevailed and evil turned away to lick its wounds, the mortal coil was left to pick up the pieces. Elemental and dark magic and creatures of all kinds invaded Ronina. New balance had to be found between the mundane and the fantastic. The forest druids guarded the way to the Feywild, and new druid tribes formed to protect the paths into the core elemental planes. And two remaining rifts that had formed on Ronina were left untouched and undiscovered. The year now is 1346 after collision. The world has changed ever so slightly since that fateful year. The elven kingdom of Oakenheart has been destroyed and rebuilt. The governing powers that control the corners of the continent of Winterflower have finally come to an agreement about how to govern together. The kingdom of Ostshore and surrounding territories have entered the age of innovation thanks to the cooperation of the dwarven empire of Diociel. The practice of magic has become even more accessible with the creation of Hollowhaven University, a public institution highly revered as one of the best. Heroes have risen and fallen as legends of their greatness spread across the world. New contenders to the world's wonder have begun their own journeys. And this? Why, this is where we begin. Hello everybody, I am your Dungeon Master, Gabrielle. So before we go ahead and jump into Use Your Imagination, I'm going to have everybody go around and introduce themselves. So we're going to go with names, pronouns, and social media if you guys feel comfortable with that. So as I said, my name is Gabrielle. I go by she, her pronouns, and you can find me on YouTube and Twitch and all that stuff under the name Archangel.
My name is Rocky. I use they, them pronouns, and you can find me on Tumblr as unnoticed-universe or on Instagram as artsteroid, ARTSTEROID_.
I'm DC. I go, my pronouns are she/her. My social media is Russian Mermaid for Tumblr and Russian Mermaid for DeviantArt.
My name is Corinne. I go by she and her. My social... I only use Tumblr. It's unbelievable on Tumblr. Yeah.
My name is Alyssa. I also go by Moonblood. Pronouns are she, her, and I only use Tumblr, and on there I'm known as Moonkit12.
Okay. So on our website, dungeonsanddoodles.weebly.com, you'll be able to find all of our social media stuff and our RSS feed. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the actual campaign. Now, we draw our focus from the deserts of Briza to the high above celestial plane. There we see the goddess Ayun, the keeper of stories, writing yet another for the intertwining destinies of a number of souls whose tapestries have yet to be finished. This story begins in the darkness. an endless void of static and lost memories. This story begins with the ill-fated and the second-given breath of life. Your story begins here. A breath. That's all it takes to bring you back. What once were abandoned lungs have now filled with the thick, warm, putrid air around you. Your mind, foggy and muddled, is a mess of static and broken memories. Coming to consciousness, you see the minuscule flickers of dim light that have been cast over you. Blinking away death, curiously, you take in the space around you, but you don't get very far because what you see next stops you in your tracks. All around you, cast in shadows and highlighted in the orange glow of fire, you see bodies. Bloodied, broken, and clothed in all manner of armors, equipment, and weapons. Adventurers from all walks of life. Adventurers like you. From this fray of death, you see movement. Bodies being pushed and rolled over as 3 others struggle back to life around you. You hear the gasps of breath they take in as life returns to them, the breath that was once stolen from their lungs. The sound crisp, sudden, and resounding in the deafening silence of what once was your final resting place. Gathering your bearings, you attempt to piece back together the events that led you to this fate. Images flash, your mind filling with sharp pain and dulled senses. A crescent moon smile. Static. Threads pulling at your limbs. Blood. Darkness. The darkness is where many stories begin, after all. And that is where we're going to open up for you guys to introduce yourselves.
Oof.
Cool. Okay.
Ah.
Wow.
All right. So should I go first again then?
Let's just go in the same order, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is a stupid question. Should I do it in character or out of character?
Well, do you want to describe what your character looks like? And just kind of go from there?
Okay. So, I play Kai Fiensong. He is a tiefling light domain cleric. He works as a backdoor physic in Delmount slums. And he's kind of a jerk.
Well, I am playing as Hattie Mallory, the knowledge cleric. And she is a human. She's quite old, in her late 60s. Weathered skin, crow's feet, smile lines. She's got like tan skin that with age marks all over and black hair that is slowly turning gray. And she's got a journal on her hip and a flask on the other side.
That's a lot more specific than I have.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought those were like the most important parts.
No, I think it's cool that you have all that stuff. So I'm playing Teth Evanxath. She's a Triton bard. She used to be a pirate. She's not anymore. And now she's on land and she doesn't know what to do. Yeah.
Alright, I'm playing as a Githzerai druid. And if you don't know what a Githzerai is, they look elven in nature, but almost like a diseased elf. They have yellow skin, sharp cheekbones, thin face, and she has dark brown eyes and tangled dark brown hair that only goes down to her shoulders. She's wearing hide armor, furs. She's wearing a strange wrapped shirt that's just kind of wrapped around her with like loose elbow-length sleeves. She's covered in dirt. She's got a little bird perched on her shoulder.
Oh.
A little black and yellow.
Wait. That's right. I just do I have Humphrey with me?
If you want him to be with you, sure.
Humphrey.
I suppose so. I forgot to mention I have a goat. He's about hip height with large curling horns.
He's so cute.
And he looks
love
grumpy.
him already.
He looks very grumpy.
Oh my god. Okay, that's adorable.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, she's covered in hide armor, wearing a loose shirt. Dark brown hair, dark brown eyes, yellow skin with brown fingernails, and
Ooh.
dark brown spots around her eyes, down the sides of her neck, and on her hands as well.
Like a banana.
Yes, kind of like. That's actually a very good description. Yes.
That's gonna be a campaign meme.
She's also
Instantly.
She's also wearing a heavy fur cloak.
Ooh.
It's like a dark gray. She has a sword. She has a scimitar on one hip. She has a shield strapped to her back with a backpack over top of that. Yeah, and then she has a little birdie perched on her shoulder.
That's cute.
It's very cute.
Okay.
I think that's it.
It's all the lads.
The Mad Lads.
Oh yeah.
Is that the party name?
Yes. We've already got it.
Looking around, it looks as if you're inside a round room with walls of sloppily stacked stone. All around you, there are a number of broken wooden boxes and a number of upended barrels. There are a number of what look to be bookshelves that hold no books, simply just filled with dusty bottles of strange liquids and baskets of different materials. There are a few small chests, one of which is sitting wide open on the floor. Looking down, the floor below you is wooden, but soaked in blood from the pile of bodies you've just pulled yourself from. Torches of orange arcane light flicker against the walls, and a spiral staircase leads upwards to an unseen next level.
Okay, so am I right in saying, like, what the hell is going on here?
I think so.
Yeah.
This is really gross. So wow, yeah. I'm at a loss for words here. Do you guys remember anything?
No.
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 No? Okay, great.
No.
Cool. We're all on the same page. Yeah, so I need to get back to my apothecary. This is not the best. I'm Kai, by the way.
I don't think this is the best situation for any of us, and I'm Hattie.
Hattie. Alright, I won't remember that. Great. I don't know why I introduced myself if I'm not going to remember anything. So, what now?
I suppose there's the staircase.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that obvious. Cool, great. Yeah. So, I guess I'm going to go up the staircase.
Is it dark in here?
There's arcane light torches on the walls that are flickering with an orange glow.
So I'm assuming that, like, we can see that there's, like, crates and bookshelves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously the pile of bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. So, yeah, I think Kai is going to walk up the staircase.
I'm gonna like grab her real quick, like pause her, and be like, wait. And then I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. I didn't think about that.
Okay. So, you get a little blip of something on one of the bookshelves.
Uh-oh.
And you go over, and it's this smaller piece of crystal that's glowing and swirling with this orange, like golden orange color to it. You don't know what it is.
Okay, real quick, Kai's going to pinch himself. Does that
Okay.
do any damage?
Well, do you want to hurt yourself?
Just enough to, like, make sure that he's not dreaming.
Well, you're not dreaming.
Okay, great. So yeah, this sucks, and I'm absolutely not a fan. Let's just start with that. Second of all, I don't know anything. Let's start with that. I don't know any of you. For all I know, this could be some sort of weird, like, carnage game mess where I have to kill all of you guys. So I'm absolutely not excited about that prospect. But we probably should make a plan.
Sounds like a smart idea. I think the first smart thing you've said so far.
Oh wow, thanks. I really appreciate that. I like you so far. Okay. So there's that crystal on the bookshelf.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is.
Don't know what it is.
While I'm looking at it, I'm gonna cast Identify as a cantrip.
Okay. So you cast Identify, and this is a spark crystal, blade variant.
Oh!
It is a translucent crystal glowing and swirling with golden orange energy. And this palm-sized stone, when crushed, contains a one-time use of the Flame Blade spell cast at 2nd level.
Oh.
Nice. So who got that?
I did.
Okay. What did you introduce yourself already? I feel like
I did. I said, my name is Hattie.
I did say that I wasn't going to remember that. Okay, great. So I will make a second note of that. Wonderful. So I think that's everything this room has to offer. So do y'all want to start climbing? Or?
I didn't detect anything else, so...
What about the chests over
Can we
there?
look in the chests?
Yeah, can I
Are the
walk
barrels,
over
are they,
and-
like, open?
I mean,
There was one chest open.
Can I go look in that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at whichever one is closed as well.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, it's not locked.
Okay.
Let's see. How much do you find? That's 40 silver.
Okay.
damn it. Great.
Well...
Can I go look at this middle one? The chest in the middle?
Yeah.
Do I just... Oh.
Yeah. Seeing them both do that, I'm gonna go look at the third one.
Great. I like.
Okay, so Hattie, the one that you're looking at is the one that's open. So, Teth, that is 60 copper in that chest.
You know, I was staying back because it felt like a mimicky situation. Like this is not. I'm not getting good vibes from this, but
It's not a mimicky situation.
oh, I can tell that now.
Okay, so Hattie, what you find in yours is 10 gold pieces,
Oh.
10 silver pieces, and 20 copper pieces.
Oh, thank you.
I think I'm just gonna check all of the chests from now on. Might
Okay.
not, laying back might not be the smartest business idea for me. So
Okay.
Can I look myself over for any wounds, scars that I don't recognize?
You have no new wounds and no new scars.
Okay. What about the bodies? Do I recognize any of them?
No, you don't.
How many are there?
Dozens.
I don't like this. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
that. I think I've said that already. So if we're done, I don't know, finding windfalls here, do you want to start climbing?
Might as well. There doesn't seem to be
Might as
anything
well.
else in this room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I'd rather get away
take off
from
my
the stench
shield.
of death.
that's a mood. So Kai's
Yeah,
gonna
I just
climb,
skirt around.
climb the staircase.
So it's a smaller room. It's just where the the stairwell is, and there's a door leading out.
Yeah. I just quickly skirt around the bodies and like follow her up the stairs.
Yeah, me too.
Follow her up the
Whoa.
stairs.
So, can I do a perception check real quick just to make sure there's like nothing gross in here, or is the room so small that it wouldn't even warrant one?
It's so small it wouldn't even warrant
Okay.
anything. There's nothing in here. It's literally just the stairwell.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna remind you. I think detect magic lasts for 10 minutes.
Mm.
Okay. What is the radius on that?
Let me look. It's within 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, and it does last up to 10 minutes. But
Yeah.
it is concentration.
But there's nothing to break it right now, so.
Okay, yeah, there's nothing so far.
Okay.
Keeping my tabs.
Is there a window on the door that lets us see outside?
There's not.
No. Okay. Can I put my ear to the door and see if I hear anything?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. So what would I roll something for that?
Roll a perception check.
Roll a perception. Okay. 16, and then my perception skill is 9.
Okay.
Or am I
Wow.
reading the right? Wait. No, it's -1. Sorry. Big stupid.
Okay, I was about to
stupid
say.
energy.
I was like,
That's my passive wisdom, y'all.
yeah. Also, I want to remind you that my passive wisdom is 18.
Oh,
Oh, God.
wow.
It's 18.
I took the observant feat.
Damn.
I'm a variant human.
I almost did that, but mine's 17 normally.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay,
So I got a
Take that.
15 15 perception check.
you don't really hear too much. You do notice, though, at the back of your mind, and this is true for all of you, at the back of your mind, there's this very low, quiet, almost unnoticeable hissing, staticky sound in the back of your mind. On
Okay.
a constantly running just through your mind.
Just like
Before-
feedback on a microphone, just the whole thing.
Yeah, the entire time.
Before I go up the stairs, Elizabeth is going to turn around and take another glance at the room. Probably, if I have to, using the the flame cantrip to produce flame. To just produce flame in my hand, give myself a little bit more light,
Okay.
and just see if I can discern what killed all of these bodies and apparently us. Is there any signs of something leaving any tracks in the blood?
There are,
Any traps that look like they've been set off?
go ahead and roll perception for me.
Okay. Which die do I use? Not that one. 12.
Okay. You don't notice any, footprints or anything like that, but it does look as if certain, I guess, members of this pile of bodies have been disturbed, and not just because you guys got out of this pile of bodies.
Like someone was messing with them before we got up.
Yeah,
Okay.
like something had happened.
I'm just wondering what could kill this many people.
Okay, I know I'm not in the room anymore, but when I was looking at them, did they look like they were mutilated, or were they all just dead?
Just dead.
Just dead? Okay.
So, Lizeth, you don't really notice any common injury. Some of them have gashes on their chests, some of them have burns, some of them, there's just this huge variation of different injuries that could have killed these people, and there's no common theme between them.
Interesting.
One more thing. Does it look like they were killed here, or they were moved here?
It looks like they were dumped here.
Okay. That's
All
it.
right. So, Hattie,
Mm-hmm.
do you think we should go out the door?
Well, what other option do we have?
I mean,
Either,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm just like,
either we stay down with the dead bodies, or
I don't know if there's like a secret passage, although we did do, you know, I think dying maybe had an effect on my brain, and I'm just not doing so good, doing so hot with the whole think process thing. But all I
I don't
know,
think you were before.
I mean, you've never met me, so it's a very interesting way of seeing things. All I know is that I am not going out the door first.
I'm gonna move into this room now.
Yeah.
Finish going up the stairs.
Welcome, friend.
I'm at the back.
Okay.
I just give like a little like hard glare at Kai, and then I pat Humphrey, and I'm like send him over to the door.
Okay.
Kai winks
like
back.
to like have him try and open it, like ram it.
It's not locked.
Oh,
Okay.
It opens pretty easily.
Well, I was just gonna have him open it, like
You should have
just
checked
to go in
first.
first.
yeah.
It's not locked. It just opens up. And since he was like ramming it, like
Yeah.
full on ramming it,
Yeah, it's
door
enough
just
space he has.
crashes off the hinges.
Good, that's what I wanted.
You didn't need to, but the door is now on the floor.
I needed to display my dominance.
I do appreciate the way
For
that
your
she does
goat?
things.
Okay, so as the door crashes down, the space opens up in front of you, and
More blood.
Interesting. I feel like there's a theme here.
ascending the steps to the first floor of the tower, you see a well-lit foyer lined with 3 other doors that mark the presence of 3 different rooms. The foyer you're standing in is decorated with a few small paintings hanging off the walls, some depictions of legends and great battles from wars long past. Some are framed pieces of parchment paper noting arcane rituals and spells. The stone floor is colored by bloodshed and scorch marks.
This is just a
Is there
pleasant
anything-
picture.
Yeah. Is there anything I like would recognize from my I don't know in my time at studying, that sort of thing?
Make a history check or a religion check. Either one will work for this.
Religion or what? History?
Yeah.
That's the same. A 9.
It's like on the tip of your tongue, but you're fresh from death. Maybe not the best condition to be trying to think too hard in.
Great.
Yeah.
You do notice that the door directly across from the one that you just exited out of is open just slightly. It's been
Okay.
popped open.
So Kai is going to kind of walk up and, like, sneakily, not loud, and do another perception check. Just to make
Okay.
sure that there's no one in that room before we start talking and making noise and stuff like that.
Okay. So make a perception check for me.
That is a 17 minus 1, so that's a 16.
Okay. You don't hear any movement necessarily, but you do notice as you get a little closer to that door, the static in the back of your mind grows just a touch louder.
That's pleasant. So, Banana Girl, Hey.
She's not even paying attention. She's just petting her bird.
I like
And just looking
If you
around.
keep calling her that, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I don't know her name.
She's
I'm
just
just gonna-
petting the bird and looking around.
Seeing Kai try to get their attention, I'm gonna send Humphrey to headbutt her. Just like a little one, not like a huge one, you know.
Cute little headbutt.
Cute little
Hands
headbutt.
down. Hello.
Hi. So
He gives a little
Looks up
nod.
at everyone else.
so I don't have to keep calling you Banana. Name?
Leza.
Lezith. Nice. Great. And then little pirate. Little baby pirate.
Oh,
I just like facepalm listening to her.
I'm Teth.
Pep. Great.
Teth. Teth.
Teth. Okay, like a
Yeah.
tooth but without a letter.
Yeah.
Great. I won't remember that. So I walked towards that door and that staticky feeling. Like, you guys are feeling that too, right? Like, it's not just me. Like, I'm not going crazy.
Yes.
Great. It got worse.
I step closer, hearing that.
Yeah.
Like it's this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Does it
As
does
you
it
get
only get
closer.
worse when you go towards that door, or does it get worse with?
As you go
Yeah,
toward
the door
that door
itself.
specifically, the static just increases in volume just slightly.
Oof.
Not a fan of this.
I just
Um,
I just like growl and like grab my head and be like, ugh, this sucks.
It's not like overwhelmingly loud, but it is just you notice it there even more than
I'm gonna
before.
go over to.
It's like
this
background
door.
noise.
Is this a door right in front of me?
Yeah, that is a
Okay.
door.
I'm gonna press my ear to the door. Do I hear
Okay.
anything?
You do not. Not even gonna make you roll for that one.
I'm gonna go to the other door. Do I hear anything?
You do not.
I'm just
Cool.
gonna walk through.
So this is another stairwell.
Did the stairs go anywhere?
Yeah, they go down.
Okay, I'll go down the stairs.
Okay.
Might as well see what's there. I'm already almost there.
I think
Okay.
Kai might like stand in that room and just kind of like chill there, but he's not gonna go down. He's just gonna wait.
I'll follow. I'll follow the Triton.
God.
Okay.
I just stand in the doorway and see all of them go down and just like, ah, God, why did I have to be stuck with these people?
Descending the stairs, you find yourselves in a 50-foot square room lined with cells and barred walls. In the center, there's one much larger cell that looks to have a circle carved into the stone floor. Crimson dots the floor, and just beyond the central cage, you see a table at the far end of the room with papers scattered around it and alchemical materials atop it. Observing the cages around you, you can see about 4 forms contained in individual containment cells. However, before any of you get a good look at these things, your vision pulses painfully, almost like a memory clawing to resurface. As the world around you fades away into darkness and the low hum of static that's been at the back of your mind this entire time grows in volume. You watch as a figure, about 15 feet away, steps from the shadows. They're tall, with red skin and thin horns that curl up and around their ears. Their hair is black and matted, and their eyes, though lifeless as they are a startling silver. They're wearing leather armor and carrying a short sword, although the armor has seen better days. Across their chest is a large gash that travels from their right shoulder to their left hip, and you can see stains of crimson all over their form. Something doesn't seem quite right.
You said
then-
lifeless eyes.
And then you see it. Towering above this first tiefling figure, there's something else there. 2 perfectly circular white eyes and a crescent moon smile shine from beneath a hood of shadow. Their skin, made of static, is hard to look at. Clawed hands reach from the sleeves of their swirling cloak, and tied around the fingers are bright red threads, the same ones tied around the neck, ankles, and wrists of the tiefling, making them a puppet. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Great. So, obviously, Kai is down there. The tiefling is going to be his first priority, getting up here.
Okay. So,
Hearing them so quiet, I follow suit.
We're gonna have a bit of a different way to do initiative for the purposes of a podcast. What I need you guys to do is roll initiative, and then add those numbers together to make an average, and then we'll see which group goes first.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I got a 17.
Yeah, so that,
17.
oh my gosh,
7.
natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's great.
Can you guys write your numbers in chat, and then does someone work on adding them to get a number?
23 for me.
Oh, right. We
Wait,
have.
I have to add
Four-
my initiative. Am I just stupid? I think I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Aren't we
okay,
all?
Yeah. Okay, so that's 7 plus 2, so that's a 9. Ignore that
Oh, my
plus 7.
poor homebrew monster got a natural 1.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And the initiative was only plus 3. Oh, sad times.
So we add all of our initiatives and take the average?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So 15?
like 15, 16, and
Well, I guess
It's
it doesn't matter because
15.75.
my monster got a natural
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the initiative for this thing counts as the initiative for the tiefling.
Okay.
Can we tell
I
that
mean-
this thing is undead? You said lifeless eyes, torn up armor. Do I know that it's undead?
Kai's gonna roll a medicine check to check that out.
Okay. So go ahead.
That's a 15 plus 1, so 16.
You can tell that this tiefling is in fact dead.
Great.
But its body is being controlled by this larger being.
You said that there were 4 more figures in, like, the cages, right?
Yeah. And what you would have to go through, so next to that central cage, there are doors leading out of that central cage. And in those sections next to it, you can get behind this section of barred walls between where you guys are and the cages. There's like a corridor between. And you would have to get in there to get to the cages, to even think about releasing it or anything like that.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
And again, it's kind of hard to see because what this thing has done as you've walked in here is it's kind of made this stage around you guys where it's just most of it it's like hard to see past the darkness it has created around itself and you guys.
well,
And that static has gotten a lot worse, and it's almost like it's crept into your vision as well too.
How
Okay.
dark is it in here again? dark
It's
did you
not
say?
like you can't see anything, it's just harder to see. So it's a little bit dimmer.
okay.
Because I do not have dark vision, so
Okay.
I do not either. So.
I have dark
I
vision.
don't have it either.
I have it. I have dark vision. Okay. But does that medicine check count as like a non like action?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kai is going to cast the light cantrip.
Okay.
So
as soon as you do that, Lezeth is going to cast Fairy Fire.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So as you cast the light cantrip,
yeah. So
lights.
it's you touch one object that is no larger than 10 feet in any dimension until the spell ends. The object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius. So Kai is literally just going to touch the floor underneath his feet. He's not trying to like move anywhere. He's just going to touch the floor right underneath his feet. So in a 20-foot radius, there's going to be bright light, and everyone can see that.
Okay. The light spreads out from where he's touched the floor, and the floor around you guys is just glowing. Lezeth, you were casting Fairy Fire?
Yep. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm gonna try to not use my special dice on that one.
But also,
and that is an 18.
are we facing two separate creatures?
No,
No, just one. Okay, and what was it? An 18?
an 18
Wonderful.
plus a 3 dexterity.
Oh,
shit.
Nice. Okay.
But objects around are glowing with like a blue light.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's even brighter in here. It's very bright in
The
here.
the barred walls are kind of glimmering a little bit.
Shit.
Woohoo.
As soon as like the light pops up, I'm gonna like get close to them, to the tiefling guy, and cast spiritual weapon.
Okay.
And it is the form of like a really nice, like bound leather book.
Okay. All right,
Actually,
so-
seeing as how Fairy Fire failed, I'm also going to use my bonus action to Beast Shape.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. What are we turning into?
I'm going to turn into a brown bear.
Okay.
You see the sword get sucked into her hand and kind of like mold with her body. The shield that was around her arm gets molded to her arm as well and starts to become part of her. The hide armor she was wearing, the backpack that was on her back, it all kind of melts into her body as she transforms into this brown bear.
Nice.
Oh, and the little birdie has flown off and sitting in a corner somewhere.
Good.
He knows not to.
Keep him safe.
Yeah, he
It's
knows
what he
to
deserves.
fly away when there's danger. So he's gone.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Who's up next?
Can I actually like use the weapon on this turn? Do I have to wait? Because I'm in
What
range.
does the spell say? Is it an action to cast?
It's a bonus action, so I think I can get it because you have to be
Yeah, go
in
ahead.
20 feet range. So it's wrong one. Where is it? Do I have to roll to hit first?
Yes.
Okay. 14, and then that is a 19.
That does hit.
Nice.
And
Go
then
ahead and roll damage on that one.
okay. So D8 10.
Okay.
Yay.
Sick.
All right. Who's doing what?
All right.
I think there's
Who
That's
hasn't done anything?
I haven't done
That's my
any.
turn. I'm good.
I'm good too.
I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery.
Nice.
Ooh, fun.
I don't know what to do. I said I have to roll. Do I have to roll to hit it?
Not with Vicious Mockery, I don't think.
Not with Vicious.
No.
Is that
I think they have to make a saving throw though.
It must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
wisdom saving? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I hit. No,
Okay.
you don't save. Let me. Whoops. How do I do that? Okay, there we go. 3. Damn it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I do.
So,
It's fine.
does the lad look like bloodied or anything, or does he still have a ways to go, damage-wise?
He's still got a little while to go.
Okay. So Kai.
Well, if you all have gone, it's Its turn.
Yeah.
Oh, lame. Okay. There, we should just hit
So,
it.
the creature moves one of its hands, and the hand of the tiefling with the sword in it comes out and strikes at Hattie.
Yep.
Now, naturally, I don't remember what damage for short sword is. Let me see if that hits first. That is a 16. What's your armor class?
That's my armor class. Yes.
Okay. I can't even remember. It's been so long since I've played D&D. I think it's
The attacker
short
hits.
sword?
When it matches, the attacker hits.
Yeah. That's why I was like, ooh.
And 1d6 for a short sword.
Thank goodness. This DM screen is useless. 3.
3 hit points. Okay. It's not too bad.
Nice.
Okay, that's gonna be the end of its turn.
Okay, so Kai is going to draw his mace and make a attack on the creature.
Okay.
So that's it. Oh, great. +2, so that's a 6.
Yeah, no, that does not hit.
I'm gonna put that one on the staticky. I think I can do better than that. I think it's just a static.
Stumbling back from the hit, I'm gonna get pissed and just stare down the creature and then use my spiritual weapon again.
Okay.
That is trying to remember. 14.
14 does hit.
Oh, okay. D8. That is a 12 for hit points.
Okay.
I'm gonna run up and attack as a giant brown bear.
Nice.
Oh,
Gonna
of
see if I
course.
can wedge my big furry butt over here in between everyone else.
I just like stumble back, like what the heck?
Yep, giant
'Cause I
bear.
still have tons of
comes
movement.
running in. And I'm gonna use my action to multi-attack.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Fun. Alright, go ahead.
Natural 16 on the bite attack, +5.
Not
Hmm.
Deals 1d8 +4. +7 +4. And the second one was natural 17.
Yeah, that's that hits.
This is my lucky d20. This
Lovely.
is the one I got a natural 20 on. And that's 2d6. Let's see. 3, 8.
Okay, how much damage is that total?
That's 8 and 11. 11 on the first
So
one.
19.
And then 8 on the next one.
Let's go banana.
Okay. Not looking too
KO.
hot. Not looking too hot.
For the lad.
Okay. Who's next?
I'm going to cast Hideous Laughter on it.
Okay.
So that's it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
This is 16.
Okay, yeah, that you save. My
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Now you have to tell a really bad joke.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I do. Okay, hold on.
You should. Quickly typing up dad jokes.
Should I actually do that? Because I don't know jokes. I don't joke.
That's why it's safe.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon?
No.
Great food, no atmosphere.
Oh my god. Come on.
And it looks at you with this like blank stare and no emotion. even the like crescent moon smile gets a little smaller.
Don't make it angry at us.
You just hear like Hattie in the background going,
Okay. So, it is going to attack with the short sword again.
At me, the giant bear.
And I believe before I accidentally rolled the dice over with my finger, that was a 10. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that's a no.
Well,
On
plus
that.
what? Plus what? Because I have only an 11 armor class.
oh.
Oh, well then, plus 2. So
Yep, that hits. That's okay.
okay.
Lovely.
Oh boy, that's a. I rolled a 1.
Oh,
So
I
that's
was gonna
like
say.
what, 3 damage?
Okay.
Nice.
I'm still going
Fantastic.
strong.
Okay. Okay, that's the end of its turn.
So we back in the beginning of the rotation?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kai's gonna try again with his mace. Saving
Okay.
those spell slots.
I am definitely not.
18 plus 2. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna be 1d6 plus 2.
Okay.
Oh my god, nat 6. So that's 8 total.
Goodbye. Goodbye, homebrew creature.
Oh.
Okay, so as you strike it with your mace, the illusion that was causing everything to be a little darker around you ceases, and the static stops completely.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it looked before like it was wearing a cloak, and the skin was made of static essentially, and all of that is gone, and before you just see this slumped over figure that has lanky limbs and sharp fingernails and grayish skin
Grody.
and no face
Oh, even more
at all.
grody.
And then
Oh.
the tiefling is dead on the ground,
Okay.
slumped over.
Are we out of initiative?
Yeah.
Okay. Can Kai run up and see how long it has been since this tiefling died?
While she's doing that, I'm gonna run up and see what the monster was.
Okay. So I'll roll a medicine check real quick. Is that what I would use?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you like me to roll?
Oh, to
I want to
see-
check on the monster, like what it is, like if there's any like reason why it was like doing this, just like what it is, you know.
That's a 13 for my medicine check.
13. This tiefling has been dead for a few weeks.
Gross.
Yeah. You actually wouldn't roll anything because you
I'm so
don't
perceptive.
know anything about this
Oh.
creature. You've
Oh, I don't.
never seen it before.
Great.
None of you
I
have.
like-
None of you know what
I
it
quickly,
is.
Can
I
I-
quickly pull out my journal and start like, drawing it.
As
Like in one
the
of the
bear,
pages?
still, I'm gonna walk up to the slumped figure without a face and sniff it. What do I smell?
Well, it
Smell
smells like
Rotted
it smells like it
or
killed stuff. It smells like it's got blood on it, essentially,
Okay.
because it's been killing all of these things.
As a
And us, probably.
Yeah.
technically, as a
Yeah.
bear, I have keen smell. I have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell. That's partly
Okay.
why I'm doing this.
Well, Alyssa, I gotta tell you, I was not planning on you smelling it. Just gonna level with you on that
like
one.
ozone? Does it smell like rotted flesh? Does it smell undead?
Staticky, maybe?
It does
Yeah,
not.
like
it does not
ozone?
smell. It does not smell undead.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it smells dead because you just killed it, but yeah.
All right. So while Kai's checked the vitals of this tiefling. I think he is going to move over to that table with all the maps and stuff and see. Actually, no. Instead of that, he's going to go and look at that symbol on the floor and do a religion check and see what that's all about.
That would be actually an Arcana. check.
Arcana.
Oh.
All right.
Arcana.
I'm gonna come in and like look at it too, but like I'm not gonna roll anything yet
Okay.
or do anything yet.
Oh,
I'm just also going to move over here because
great.
everyone else is
Nat
also.
one. A nat one.
Oh no.
I don't even add anything to that, right?
No.
So like
Unless
Kai just looks
you're-
up and is like, "We're screwed. I have no idea what this is."
Yeah, you have no clue what this circle is that's been carved into the floor.
It looks pretty nasty. Like it looks like it means
Yeah.
business.
I just look at Kai. I just like give them a look like you're so dumb, and then I look at it and try and decipher what it
Pardon
means.
me. I just revived
Okay,
from
make an
the
Arcana
dead.
check.
Oof. It's the natural
What
one.
did you get? I'm
It
intrigued.
is 10.
Wow.
10.
So it's not.
Looks like we're in the same
not
boat,
great,
sister.
but it's better.
You remember a word associated with circles like these? The word chimera, but that's all you can kind of remember at this point.
All right.
I just like stare at it and quietly whisper, "Chimera." That's it.
There's
Earlier-
still the other people in the cages, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about
yeah.
to ask. Where are the shadowy figures? Which side are they on?
Well,
Left or right? Which side?
there are a couple on each, so there are 4 in total. There's 2 on each side.
Okay, I'm gonna go through this door. I'm gonna
And
try
I
and
don't
get a...
have an assigned cage for each of them, so you can just kind of pick one and I'll tell you what's in there.
Okay, I guess this one.
Okay.
I'm
so
gonna sniff
in...
it.
Sniff
What does
it?
it smell
Oh,
like?
you're
yeah, you're
still
still
a
a bear.
I'm still a bear. I'm just wandering around as a bear.
Okay. It smells like animal feces.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So this
And
is-
you can see there's something sitting on the floor of this cage.
Can I tell what this is by smelling it? What this creature is? Is it
Well,
a
not-
beast? Is it
It is a kind of beast, I guess.
a humanoid?
It is not a humanoid.
Okay. I'm just a giant bear at the just at the door to this cage, just sniffing.
Do you want me to tell you what it looks like, or
Yeah,
do you
I
want to make
mean,
a perception check?
I don't have dark vision with the bear, so I don't know how well I can see. But if I can see,
Oh, there
it,
are torches in here. That's one thing I forgot to mention. Like arcane torches kind of scattered around. Inside this cage, you see what looks to be partially an owl, like a snowy owl, except it has what is it? It has goat horns curling out of its head and goat feet instead of talons.
So
oh my god, it's so cute.
is it now?
I
Wait,
can't
so
say
this
that.
thing-
I'm a bear.
So this is like in Full Metal
Think it.
Alchemist.
Oh yeah.
With
Oh
the
no,
dog
bad
girl?
dog.
There we go.
Here we go. Bad dog time. Okay. So, from my perspective, and that cryptic word that Hattie just whispered, chimera, I'm assuming that they were mashing, like doing a mashup of a little goat and a owl. Like that's what I'm thinking right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, what about the other one? Where's the other one? This one, I guess.
So
Second
in
cage.
this cage, it
What
again,
does this one
it
look
smells.
like and smell like?
Smells again like animal feces. It looks like this is where an animal has been staying. This one, has the body of a snow leopard and the head of a deer,
Oh my god.
and its hind legs are deer legs.
Amazing. Okay.
I'm glad that you find this so intriguing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't think I'm gonna get anything else from being a bear. I don't think I'd...
I don't think you are either.
Even if I sniffed the desk, I probably wouldn't be able to find out much. So I'm just gonna pop back into my...
I mean, you could probably try sniffing the desk if you really.
I kind of want to.
Yeah.
I want to sniff the desk.
Sniff some of the blood.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over here real quick and sniff the desk.
Smells like parchment paper.
Okay.
There are
Yes,
papers scattered
parchment
around it and
paper.
everything.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over here and pop back into my usual form.
Okay, well, there are no other figures here, like moving figures. There are tons of dead animals in there, but no moving ones
Okay.
in that section anymore that you haven't already looked at. There are two others, and they're both on that other section of cells.
Okay. Do the papers on the desk look like maps or anything?
They are not maps. It looks like scattered, I guess what you would call lab reports. It's like recordings of experiments, arcane experiments and stuff.
What language does it look like it's written in?
It looks like it's written in common.
Okay, I can read that. I'm pretty sure we all can. I'd hope so. So Kai's gonna read those. Is that a perception again?
Let's go. You know what? Since you can read it, I'm not gonna make the roll.
Nice.
It's fine. So, kind of looking through these scattered papers, it looks as if piecing these pieces together to see what was written here. It looks like the person who lived in this tower they were performing experiments with the ceremony that's used to create chimera
Okay.
in this world. So it looks like in the last little bit of the writing that you can discern from this is that their last big experiment was an elder oblex and a mind flare, and that's the last thing that was written in these notes.
Okay.
Mind flare,
hear-
elder oblex, and then nothing.
Do I hear anything about a mind flare?
Yeah.
When they're
I mean,
talking.
do we all hear it?
Yeah. Do you tell
Or
any of us
do you
this?
say anything?
Oh yeah, no, I'm reading it out loud.
Okay.
So is there like a name of the experimenter, the lab assistant, lab tech in there, or is it just the notes?
Yes, the name is Elias Fry.
Elias Fry. Hopefully I'm better with that name than yours.
Yeah. While they've been doing all this, I've been just like in my journal, like drawing what the symbol is, and then I'm gonna like check out the papers with Kai.
Okay. So, Elizabeth, are you looking at the other things?
Yes, I'm looking. After I heard the word mind flare, I'm looking at the other two figures.
Oof.
Okay, so one of them, you see a wolf in one of these cages. The wolf has white fur, but scattered around its body are patches of white scales. And coming out of its back are white dragon wings, and its tail is a white dragon's tail.
That's sick.
That's cool.
Wow.
That is awesome.
I just wave. Hi. I just whisper hi, and then
And
move on to the next one.
It just grunts and
Oh, it's not dead.
it's like.
Wait, they're
whatever.
alive?
Alive?
No, yeah, they're alive.
What?
They're
yeah,
totally
they're
alive.
alive.
I thought
That's
they
why
were
I'm
dead.
like, holy shit.
They're alive. They're just like trapped in these cages.
I'm gonna have my own little zoo by the end of this.
Oh my god.
well, I'll have a pet.
I don't think I need another mouth to feed, but you guys could someone could take an extra one.
All right, what does the other one look like?
So the other one is. It looks to have the body of a lynx. With ram horns on its head.
Okay. Wow, so we have an owl slash goat, a wolf slash dragon, deer slash snow leopard, and a lynx slash ram. Okay.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go back to the owl and just.
Okay.
Does it seem friendly?
I don't
Can
know.
I kind of stick my hand? Can I stick my hand through the bars and like try to pet it?
You might need an animal handling check.
Yeah.
Animal handling would probably be
Perfect.
the way to go here.
Perfect. Oh no, the lucky dice. Lucky dice 20. Don't fail me now. Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
2.
Oh,
Jinx yourself on that one.
2.
great.
It's a 9.
As you go to stick your hand in, it backs up away from you.
Bendito.
Aw.
Okay. Lezeth, do you want me to break them out? I have thieves' tools.
You could do that?
Yeah, I'm proficient in thieves' tools.
Yes, please. do
Cool.
that.
Okay, so Kai's gonna do that.
Well,
Do I have?
with at least the owl.
Okay.
I don't know about the wolf.
The wolf and dragon. I feel like we can leave that in here. Maybe like let it out and then like watch it leave. But
We'll see how friendly it is.
I don't necessarily. Okay. But yeah, Kai jailbreaks the owl goat thing, the gowl, the oat.
The oat.
The oat. I think it's the oat.
Hey, that's its name now.
Oat.
Okay. So, it's still in the back of this cage, but the door is open.
I'm going to do a little whistle and see if I can call Parsley back to me, my little bird friend.
Parsley.
His name is Parsley.
Oh, I love that.
He's a little black and yellow bird. He's got like from head to tail it's black fading to bright yellow, and then his wings are like white in the middle and black on the edges, and he's got like a bright yellow V on his head, like on his forehead, and he's got like a little white, like almost pearl off-white beak, and he's just the cutest little thing.
That's adorable.
Okay. So as you do that, the little bird flutters down the staircase and onto your shoulder.
Okay. And then I'm gonna try and whistle to the oat once more and get it to come over to me. See if it'll let me pet it. I'm gonna try again.
Okay. Animal handling.
Okay. Not with that die. Let's see. Alright, how about the rainbow?
Nice.
Rainbow D20. Oh, much better. 15.
Woo.
Plus 7.
So yeah, it inches forward slowly, but it does eventually get over to you, and you hear the little click of its goat hooves on the ground as it's making its way over.
Yes. I'm just gonna pet it lightly on the head. And
Okay.
take off my badge and see if I have like any trail mitts or like something that it'll eat.
Is it just me or is this very heartwarming?
Oh,
Okay.
I
I'm
just
just gonna try to
look
feed
over.
it like some grain or like some trail mix or whatever I have in my bag that it'll eat.
Okay.
Just some rations.
You find some oats to go with its namesake, and and it happily has a meal right there in front of you.
I'm just gonna sit there and pet it.
Okay.
Seeing this, I'm reminded of my goat, and I'm like, oh crap, Humphrey. And so I whistle, like, really loudly to call him, and he doesn't come. And then I whistle again, louder, and he comes finally, stubbornly.
I got scared for a second. I was like, oh no, we can't kill a goat. All right.
I have him trot over to me, and I start
Cool.
stuffing some of the more important papers into, like, the little bags I have on his
Leslie,
back.
do you want me to break anyone else out of here, or are we good? I mean, I can open the cages. I'm not sure if they'll necessarily come out.
Try the deer / the snow leopard over here.
Okay. I do that.
Okay. It just kind of watches as you open the door and doesn't really move.
I'm gonna take more of the food that I fed the oat and try to see if the deer / snow leopard will eat from my hand.
Deaf leopard?
Okay.
Can we call it a deaf leopard? Is that copyright? Is that copyright? Can I not do that?
It's fine. So yeah, you know what? Animal handling check.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay. Wow, just when I think I have a good dice, it fucks me over. I got a natural 1.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Goes the rainbow dice.
It just looks at you with this blank stare and does not move.
Okay.
It's just blinking and watching.
All right. Other two, or are we good?
I mean, I think the lynx with the ram horns would be okay.
Okay. I don't
I
have a
really
fun
don't
portmanteau
know.
for that one, so.
How about lamb?
That's good. A lamb.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Kai will open up the door for that one.
Okay, and again, it doesn't really move that much.
Okay.
It's
Well, judging off of that, I think we can go with the wagon, which is Wolf Dragon, and open that door too.
The wagon.
Yeah, it's
The wagon.
the wagon. I love it. Okay, yeah, it also is just kind of laying there with its wings kind of curled over
Cool. Well,
its body.
we did.
Let me just say that these animals, these chimera, have been in captivity
Okay.
for a very long time.
Do they look injured in any way?
No,
No.
they just look like they've
Been abused?
been like two animals meshed together.
Oh, so they're sad.
through a magic ritual.
Cool. So
I
I think
should have a bit of rope. Could I make like a little
Baby chain?
leash on the? Yeah.
Holy.
Well, I'm gonna carry.
For the-
I'm probably gonna carry the oat, but make a leash for the deer snow leopard.
We're
and-
taking these with us?
I mean, yeah, like
We can't just leave them here.
We already have a goat and a bird. We don't
Okay,
need 4
can we,
chimeras.
just
I didn't
let's
say we were going to keep them.
we just
I was about
let's
to
just
say,
get them
get them out of
outside.
here.
If we just get them outside,
traveling zoo.
I'm
And let them into the
I'm
wild.
sure that they'll be fine. Like, I'm not down to take these with us. Like, I need to
Okay.
we got to make sure that we're good.
Well, oat could be useful, maybe.
I think you're saying that just because you think it's
Or
cute.
wagon.
or wagon. It's a traveling
Oh
zoo.
God.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I'm gonna have my own
Okay,
zoo.
so Kai is gonna say a little prayer to Corellin that these guys don't get him killed.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, so I'm gonna
Okay,
I'm gonna make a
how
little
you guys-
leash for the wagon and the lamb. I'm gonna make a separate one for the lamb, and then a separate one for
Deaf
the
leopard.
deer's death leopard. Okay, we'll go with that then. And then as I'm carrying all 3 of those by a leash, I'm also gonna pick up the oat Is his name Oat, or
It's
is it
I think it's
Might
named
as well.
the oat.
species in Oat?
But I don't think there's anything else like it, so I don't really
Okay.
think.
I mean, we could
Like-
name it something fun like Jeffrey.
Hey, it'll match Humphrey.
I kind of like
Yeah,
Jeffrey.
well-
Humphrey.
I kind of like Jeffrey. Okay, I'm gonna pick
Okay,
up Jeffrey and carry him.
silently hoping that you guys would pick up the chimera on your way out, but I didn't think that you would actually do it.
Are you kidding? I'm a fucking druid.
Kai doesn't like seeing
course
things
I'm
that
gonna
aren't
take the
happy, necessarily. As long as it's not going to
Okay.
immediately impact him. He just didn't want to let these things starve in the cage.
Okay.
All right, so now that we've got everything, let's get out. I'm done
Skedaddle.
being here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going back over here also.
So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk my little menagerie of animals up the stairs.
Do they have trouble getting up the stairs?
I'm carrying Oat. Jeffrey, I mean.
the wagon does. It's got these big wings and
Aw.
everything that it's got to squeeze up the stairs. Anyways, as you guys make your way outside of
Do we want to
this
check anything
tower,
else? I'm looking
I
behind
don't
us.
No.
No, let me know.
No.
'cause
No one
No,
wants to.
I'm
like,
done
I'm
with
just like,
this.
Hattie's
No,
just like,
I
I
want-
want to spend another
I
one
want
on this
to
place.
I want to go home.
Okay.
Okay, one last perception check. Does this place look very recently used, or do the two other doors that I'm looking at look abandoned? I guess there's really not much to find out.
I don't know if you would be able to tell just by looking at closed doors
Yeah.
if they've been opened recently.
I'm absolutely done being in here. I'm getting claustrophobic. Let's go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
as you guys make your way outside, you go out onto this front courtyard of this tower, and you're in Winterflower, which is known as the coldest and snowiest continent in this realm. But as you guys step out onto this courtyard, you see around the perimeter of this land, all of the grass is visible. Oddly enough,
There's no
and
snow where we're standing.
stops. The snow stops at a certain point before it gets to the tower, and all the snow around it is melted, and you can see the grass.
Hmm.
And I should mention, this entire section of land is pretty warm for winter,
This is
for a constant winter. It's very
this is
warm.
uncanny. I don't know if I'm a fan. Like, I know I usually complain about how cold it is all the time, constantly, but this is weird.
And looking around, trying to figure out what actually is going on, you look up to the top of the tower, and embedded on the top of it is this large crystal that's kind of the same color of the spark crystal that you picked up earlier, except
Sick.
much, much bigger. And the circle of warmth seems to emanate from that point.
Oh, okay.
As you guys are getting out of this area, you suddenly remember what happened. Kai, about a month ago, you had been sitting in the small hut you called a home outside of the Blind Beholder Tavern when a couple of adventurers around your age came to you in need of assistance. One was Lucilia, a young human warlock. The other was Mistral, a gravely injured Ganassi fighter. While coming into town, they had been attacked by a small troop of bandits. It turned out that making quick work of the bandits didn't close up the very nasty gash Mistral had received to their stomach. They needed healing, a cleric, but the temple clerics were far too expensive. Someone had directed them to you for healing. They told their story about how they'd been coming into town to hire a cleric for a challenge they were undertaking, but they knew now that hiring a temple cleric would have be above their pay grade. They told you that they would pay you to come with them. And before you knew it, your guilt at the thought of leaving them to go without help when they so clearly needed it had dragged you across the Celestial Valley to the famed Wizard's Tower. It was the location of a local legend that had been receiving a good amount of foot traffic since the story had crossed the seas to other continents. You didn't know much about it, but your party thought they would be able to conquer it. Oh, how wrong they were. You remember entering. The tower smelled of dust and dried blood. Venturing further and further inside, you found yourselves disoriented. At first, it began with your vision becoming unclear. There was a hissing sound, almost like static. Then tendrils of static snaked their way into your view. It was almost like reality was bending and breaking the further you traveled. And then you saw it. A single figure stood before you, wielding a blade and shield. Their armor was splattered in dried blood. And they got closer. And as they got closer, you slowly realized what was happening. You could see as they moved another figure standing behind them, tall and imposing, at almost 10 feet in height. This figure was in a hooded cloak that seemed to bleed into the shadows. The inner stitching of the hood was a swirling night sky of color. Their skin was the same static that warped your perception. 2 perfectly circular eyes and a crescent moon smile beamed a bright white from under the hood. Their arms were outstretched, 2 clawed hands emerging from the sleeves. Tied around the fingers were pieces of red string, and following them you could see the pieces of red string attached to the first figure. 1 around their neck, 1 around each wrist, and the other around each ankle. Looking next to you, Lucilia and Mistral were no better off than you were. You were stock still, looking in front of you with pure wide-eyed terror. In that moment, you knew running was the only option. That you needed to leave, you needed to go, and never turn back. Run! 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 But something about how the static wrapped around your consciousness told you that it was too late to run. That is, if you ever had a chance to begin with. The entirety of your perception was consumed, and you only remember a few small moments. Listening to the discordant sounds of screaming mixed with the telltale sounds of arcane magic, a seemingly unending wave of pain. You could just feel your throat going raw as you realized those screams were yours. And then it was all darkness. And then there was a white porcelain mask, and the cawing of a raven. And suddenly, you were breathing again. You were alive. You succumbed to your worst fear, and then you conquered it. Lezeth. Venturing away from the snowy outcropping that you had called home for some time, and onto the trading routes and roads that lined the Celestial Valley, you had found yourself the traveling companion of a tiefling wizard named Afspira Bright. She was making a pilgrimage to investigate the disappearance of one of her colleagues, a wizard named Elias Fry, who would sometimes lecture about experimental magic at Hollowhaven University. He lived in a tower on the eastern side of the valley, right on the base of the Snowdrop Peaks mountain range. She told you he hadn't been heard from in a few months, and that no one was able to get in touch with him. For all intents and purposes, he had disappeared. The 2 of you made your way into the tower, creeping your way into an eerily quiet foyer. As you explored the space and slowly investigated, your vision began blurring and your ears filled with an uncomfortable bout of hissing static. Reality was warping around you as you watched a tiefling step out of the shadows, lifelessly limp with charred armor and burns on their skin. Then the static becomes worse, and the world bends even more as a towering figure reveals itself from the shadows that cloak its imposing form. The skin was the color of the texture now filling your vision, and now 2 perfectly circular eyes and a perfect crescent moon smile glared at you, ominous in their appearance. The red strings wrapped around its fingers controlled the tiefling with unsettling fluidity. If you were looking for Aspira in your panic,
the static wasn't letting you find her.
You knew you needed to run. You still had a mission to complete. You couldn't die here, or else...
What was your purpose?
Why were you given a glimpse into the future? To search for a fake prophecy in order to die an uninspired death? To be cornered in a way you couldn't hope to have predicted? Your mind buzzed with questions lined with fear and uncertainty. Soon, the only thing you could register was the sound of incantations being whispered between the static, and then lightning coursing through your veins. And then darkness. and then death, and then a white porcelain mask, and then the cawing of a raven, and then a breath, and then light, and then life. You were alive. The future could still be saved. Hattie. Traveling, following different leads in your attempts to find Dougal, you found yourself and Humphrey traveling along the western side of the snowdrop peaks of Winterflower. Tracing along the base of the mountain range and into the Celestial Valley, you came upon a tower surrounded by banks of snow and trees. Only within a certain radius around the tower, the grass was visible and thriving, in what seemed to be a circle of warmth emanating from the tower itself. Wishing for a stint from the freezing cold, you made your way inside, hoping that you might implore the inhabitants for a night's stay. However, reaching the door, you got a sense that something wasn't quite right, especially since the door opened with hardly any force applied to it. Too desperate for warmth to care, you ventured inside, finding a well-lit interior splattered in blood and scorch marks. The door on the far right was wide open, revealing a small room with a staircase. Getting closer, the static hummed in the back of your mind and rimmed your peripheral vision, but you pressed on. Further and further you descended, coming to a large room lined with cells and barred walls. The static got worse, and reality seemed to fade away. Darkness crept in, and as it did, you watched a figure step in front of you as clear as day. Yellowish skin, lined with reflecting black spots, a shorter nose, and pointed ears. Peering out of the shadows above them was a pair of glowing white eyes and a white, void-like smile. A second form revealed itself, cloaked in star and shadow, with skin made of warped reality. Tied around its claw-like fingers were bright red threads connecting to the wrists, ankles, and neck of the person in front of you. Terror invaded your mind. Running, you knew, was the only option. It was the only thing you could think. But somehow, you had the feeling that it was too late to try. Was this it? Was this your end? After all this time, after all these deaths, it's finally your turn? Why? Why survive this long if you were only to die so simply? Shouldn't you have at least gotten the courtesy of departing with the ones you loved? If this was your fate, why was it so cruel? Your mind flashed with questions and your life flickered out as you watched the yellow-skinned figure morph into something different. A snow leopard that pounced on you. And then darkness consumed you, and all you knew was death. Then, suddenly, you saw a white porcelain mask and heard the cawing of a raven. And then you were alive. Survival was suddenly worth it. Teth. It had only been about a month since you found your way onto the shore of Sage Lake when your adventure started. You were sitting at a tavern, strumming your lute slowly, when a couple of adventurers approached you. There was a tabaxi fighter named Tranquil Stone and a halfling wizard named Trendove. They were looking for another member of their party who had separated from them to go ahead and scout out an abandoned tower in the Celestial Valley, on the other side of the Snowdrop Peaks mountain range that splits the continent just west of Sage Lake. They were planning on looting the place, but wanted to have a better idea of what the area looked like. It had been a week since their third party member left, and they hadn't heard a single word from them, and they were starting to get worried, hence the need for some help. And let's face it, the average citizens of Sage Lake didn't exactly look like much. Looking for something to bide your time, you agreed to travel with them, and soon enough, you were off. In a couple days' travel, you and your new compatriots had found their way into what would be, unbeknownst to them, their final destination. You remember climbing the front steps and inching inside of a strangely well-lit interior that branched off into a few different rooms. You chose to investigate the one on the left, something that you would come to regret later. The door led to a spiral staircase that descended into another room. As you got closer to the staircase and as you continued to descend further, a haze overtook you. Your vision and ears became slowly consumed with static overriding your senses. It was hard to hear, hard to see, hard to think. But as you entered the firelit basement of the tower, something was there as clear as day. The first thing you noticed was a pile of bodies. Blood soaked through the floor and death permeated the air around you. The next thing you noticed was a figure standing upon a hill of corpses. Two perfectly round white eyes and a crescent moon smile glared at you from a cloak swirling with shadows and stars. Two clawed hands emerged from the sleeves, red string tied around the fingers. The skin, if you could call it that, was what twisted your reality around in your mind. You watched as one of these bodies is pulled from the pile, an older human figure wearing armor, blood covering their form. Red threads were wrapped around their arms, legs, and neck, and suddenly they were a puppet to the commands of a monster beyond comprehension. And that's when you knew you needed to escape. It would be easy, right? Just run back up the stairs? You could do it, right? You could run? You weren't too scared to move? Or were you already too late? Had you already been ensnared within a trap that was so carefully laid? Was this your fate, to end up dead in some insignificant dungeon? To never avenge those you had lost? Was this the end of your story? It couldn't be, right? It's not over, right? But as you questioned your fate, you knew it was too late. You knew this was the end. And the world knew it was your end. The last thing you remember was a sword being plunged into your chest. And then darkness. Suddenly, you were in front of a white porcelain mask, and then you heard the cawing of a raven. And then you were breathing again. You were alive. Your story wasn't over. And as the four of you remember what happened, you think back to the pile of bodies. You remember the faces of those who did not rise with you, and you remember that those were the faces of the people you once traveled with to this terrible place. And you remember that the ones that now stand with you are the ones whose hands were used to begin your first undoing. And the ones who dealt the final blow were the companions you once knew being used as puppets for a monster's plot. Hello everybody, I'm your Dungeon Master Gabrielle, and I just want to thank you guys so much for listening to the first episode of Use Your Imagination, a Dungeons & Doodles podcast. We are so excited to get this campaign underway, and we're so excited for you to join us. Just a quick reminder, you can find more information about the show and players over on dungeonsanddoodles.weebly.com. You can follow the show over on Twitter at DungeonsDoodles. You can follow me on Twitter at Archangel_YT, and you can find me on YouTube as Archangel. You can find Alyssa over on Tumblr as MoonKit12. You can find DC over on Tumblr or DeviantArt as Russian Mermaid. You can find Corinne over on Tumblr as Unbeanleavable, and you can find Rocky over on Tumblr as Unnoticed-Universe or Artsteroid_ on Instagram. And again, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you'll be joining us next time.